These are quite possibly the quietest bumper plates in the entire world. These are the Rogue Honeycomb Plates. One thing that people constantly say when they're starting a home gym is they want a quieter setup so they're not waking up their spouse or their kids when they're working out early in the morning. These are designed to supposedly fix that problem. We're gonna drop them off really tall ladders with decibel meters so we can figure out how much quieter they actually are. We're gonna see how high they jump and are they worth the increased cost versus other bumpers on the market. Let's do it. Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Welcome. I'm actually here in my garage today. This is my temporary setup. It is somewhat bare bones, but also bougie at the same time. Stainless steel uprights. It's actually really nice, but I'm building a shop. So eventually I'll move this out there and do a full gym setup. If you'd like to see a full walkthrough of how I built this rack and what I've got going on, you can let me know in the comments. Also, I plan to review these very soon. Today we are reviewing and taking a look at the new Rogue Honeycomb Plates. Sam, would you bring out those beautiful plates?
Woke up this morning. Coop asked me to bring out plates for him.
These are the new Rogue Honeycomb Plates. The pattern doesn't really look like honeycomb, but that's okay. I'm guessing it looks close enough. These are very similar to the most popular black bumper of all time, which I would say is probably the Rogue HG 2.0 plate. There's a few differences. One is these are actually a little bit thinner at the 45-pound weight, very, very slightly thinner. So I wouldn't buy it specifically for that feature. They're also featuring a softer durometer of rubber. So they're an 80 durometer versus HG 2.0s, which is an 88 durometer. What that's gonna do is make them bounce higher. If you look at the durometer of a bouncy ball, for instance, it's gonna be a lower durometer, softer, because it's using the rebound to then push back up. So these will jump higher too. A part of that may be also because this is gonna compress, which is the idea behind the sound. Honestly, in my mind, they kind of look like the Michelin airless tires that compress when you drive on them. I think that's probably the inspiration for the design. So we're gonna see if they actually compress when we drop them. Also, we did weigh them just to get an idea of the accuracy of weight, and they are very close. They give you a guarantee, basically, if they're outside of negative or positive 1% of the stated weight, then they'll replace them. These are within spec. And I'll say just by looking at them, they look really cool. They will end up getting dust and grime and all sorts of stuff in this, which you may or may not care about. Get some blood, sweat, and tears in there. But generally, I think they look pretty cool. This is really the problem, is what is the decibel decrease going to be on these versus a similar bumper plate, and at what cost? Because this is kind of the problem with these. These cost pretty much double a normal HG 2.0 plate, which is a very popular plate. You're actually getting close to, if not more than, a competition bumper plate. So the real question is, what is the price per decibel? We usually price bumper plates price per pound. What is the price per decibel? Without further ado, let's take them to the gym and drop them. Okay, we're gonna start the heightometer test. The
Yeah, man.
It's trademarked, heightometer, bruh. This is an accurate board. Sam spent a lot of time on this. Probably more time than he should have for marking a few lines.
Hey, excuse me, would you want to sell that?
I actually need some money.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I just so happen to have $4 on me.
Oh,
And I need a 5-foot ruler.
how tall is I?
Ooh, probably closer to 6 feet. This might be off a little bit. Well, thank you so much. This is how you get a ruler.
I'm gonna get up on this. We're gonna drop plates from this height. This is just over 6 foot. My thought is this is the highest that somebody's gonna drop a plate because they're gonna have a bar overhead. The plate has a diameter of 450 millimeters. It's gonna hit about here. So let's say you're doing a snatch or overhead press, drop from overhead. This is the extreme. So we're gonna test some of the other ones. We've got some crumb rubber plates. We've got Nike's crumb rubbers, we've got Bells of Steel crumb rubbers. I've got the HG 1.0 plates, which are a similar durometer as HG 2.0 plates. We've got just a smattering of other plates too, just to kind of see where they're at. Then we'll do the HCs, the honeycomb plates. Then we'll bring out the decibel readers from all angles and test how much quieter they are. I'm curious to see how much higher they jump too, but let's go ahead and do it. We do have a camera stationed off directly in front of the board. This is the one that we're gonna use. We're not gonna touch it. We're not gonna touch the board. That way it's just somewhat close to each other. This isn't a scientific test to say, these bounce exactly this much. We just want a repeatable test. All right, Sam, bring out the HG 1.0 plates.
Let me get my glove on for safety here.
Okay.
All right,
Let me know when you're ready.
Oh my gosh, this just looks like I'm gonna knock my teeth out.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Just under 3 feet, so you're looking about 50% of whatever the distance you drop from for the HG plates. Next, let's bring out high temps.
Hey, batter, swing, batter.
Okay, here we go. Okay, all right, so that one was definitely higher. Not really like crazy, so a little bit higher. All right, let's do the Nike plate. Do you guys still like the look of the Nike plates? Or is the novelty over? Let me know in the comments. I still think they look pretty cool. I will say they kind of look like they've yellowed a bit over time. You know, they haven't been in the sun, but that definitely will happen. And these feel very soft compared to the other ones, even the crumb rubbers. Oh man, those bounce high. Over 4, dang. If you don't want bouncy plates, don't get the Nikes. Those are the highest yet. So I'm
Can you
curious.
imagine with a bar? Like that could come up and hit you in the chin.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, without a doubt. So I'm curious, the honeycomb plates. Let's go ahead and do the honeycombs. These are durometer 80 honeycomb plates, double the cost of the HGs, or somewhere thereabouts. They're a little bit less. You ready?
I'm ready.
No glove this time.
No glove.
Not needed, okay.
I'm feeling crazy.
Okay. All right, 3, 2. Dude, still less than the Nikes.
I am wondering from a sound-wise though, I feel like the Nike was quieter.
We're definitely gonna have to test that.
Yeah.
We definitely have to test that. Okay. Dude.
Did you see that?
They
He's on the
compressed.
flex.
They
Yeah.
compressed.
That's
That is
crazy.
like the tires. That's pretty
That's
cool.
freaking sick.
Rogue, I was not
Come here, Wyatt.
expecting. Look at that. Impressive.
That was.
Impressive to say the least. I was not expecting that. Okay, now we need to test how quiet they are. So we got the bounce, which, yeah, it's right around here, maybe getting close to the 4. So definitely taller than the crumb rubbers, going higher than the crumb rubbers, definitely higher than the HG plates, but not nearly as high as the Nike plates. All right, now let's test the thing that really matters the most and the claim that they're making, which is these are quieter. Let's find out how much quieter. We're gonna set up decibel readers in multiple places. We're gonna drop it from the same distance, in the same spot. We're trying to get just, you know, basically the same thing happening. Sam's gonna make sure he doesn't fart while we do this. Let's do it. Okay, now to test the sound. The room ambience is 32 decibels. Around there. We've got 3 different dB readers. Sam's gonna be watching one just so he can call out what he sees. They're both about 5 feet away from the central point where it's gonna hit the ground in 3 different locations. Again, we're not trying to be just super scientific, but this will give us standardized tests so we can compare between the different options. We'll make sure there's nothing else going on like Sam's kids, but we'll drop it and we'll see what happens. All right, let's start with 2 HGs. Let's do HGs. Those ones you're holding.
Oh, that's what I had in my hand. Am I wrong?
Okay, this one's reading 34. This is one I'm gonna base it on. What's your reading when you stop, Sam?
I'm hitting 37 over here.
Okay. All right, so we'll do that off the base.
83.9.
So basically 47 dB difference for the HG 2.0. That would definitely wake up your people in your house. Okay, now let's do crumbs. Let's do crumbs. Ooh, I think it's gonna be a little bit quieter. What do you think, Sam?
I think so. Quieter.
Still quieter. Now, the honeycombs, the most important ones. Let's find out if there's really significant difference.
65.7.
See,
They're quieter.
less. They're quieter. They really are.
We shot all the footage, got all the readings, and Wyatt went back, edited it real quickly so we could see how they've done. We're gonna start with the HD 2.0 plate. 83.9, and it started 37.5. Basically starting. Crumb rubbers, 84, so even louder than the HGs. Nike plates, 83.7. Okay, last one, the honeycomb plates. This is the one that really matters, okay? It's starting here at 40. 69.6. So it already had a higher start rate. So you're looking at 29.6.
Yep.
Is the difference. The other one was 37 on just the original HGs. The high was 83.9. Basically 47. 47. 47 versus 29.6. So you're looking at 17 and a half decibel difference. Is 17 and a half decibel difference worth $365? The HG 2.0, $184. Pretty much double. So a 17 decibel difference. Is that worth it? Say impressive.
No, absolutely not.
If you want them to be quieter, what's going to be quieter than even those is lifting on the crash pads. Because even though these are dropping, you're still dealing with the like quaking of the floor, your house, you know. You're not using these in an apartment and dropping them, you know. So I think they're cool. I do think they're cool. Are they cool enough to spend double on? I don't think so. I'm guessing, I don't know why they cost that much. They're same rubber. I'm guessing the tooling has to be insanely expensive for those. I don't know. You can decide based on this data if that decibel difference is worth it to you. If you want a quieter, these are the quietest that I've seen yet. You also have to think of we didn't drop those with what they would be attached to, which is the barbell. And you'd be doing 2 of them or more plates with a barbell that can clank. So it'd be higher. So there you go. There's the data. Let us know any other products that we should test. This has been Kook from Garage and Reviews.
And Sam.
All right, we'll see you next time. Peace.